the number of shoes you buy and the amount of money you have left. So we've been talking about money, total cost, and when you have money left or the total cost of something, it's always going to be dependent. So the money left is going to be dependent. The number of shoes is going to be independent. The reason being, the number of shoes you have left will cause your pocketbook or your wallet to have less money in it. So the more shoes you buy, the less money you're going to have. The more shoes you buy causes you to have, the other way. The less shoes you buy causes you to have more money left. If you notice, this is a little different than the other examples because they're not both going up, they're not both going down. One's going up and one's going down. So the more shoes you buy, the less money you have left. The smaller amount of shoes you buy, the more money you have left. When this happens, this is called a negative correlation. You have one increase and one decrease. So I'm going to put my money on my dependent y-axis, and I'm going to put the number of shoes on my x-axis because it's in control. And this is my result. From there, I need to start somewhere. So let's say that we have $500 in our pockets. And if we buy one pair of shoes, let's say it cost $100. This is now going to become $400. That second pair is only going to cost us $80. So this is going to go down to $320. That third pair, one in a lifetime pair of shoes, that costs $300. We only have $20 left. So now let's label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, and I got to get all the way to 500. So I am going to go by hundreds. And plot my points. 0, 500, 1, 400, 2, 320, 320. And so what do you notice about your points? They are going down. So if we surveyed a few other people, what would it look like? What do you notice? It's going down. And so if we drew a trend line, this point here is going to make my trend line come up a little bit, but my trend line is going to be about that. Maybe, let's make it, because I want to go in the middle of my information. That's better. And so let's guess. And of course, you know the ordered pairs would be 0, 500, 1, 400, 2, 320, and 320. And now let's label. So this is 2 and 100, but that's not on my trend line. Remember, the trend line is used to help you predict. So if I wanted to predict at 4 what it would be, I would have to go to the trend line. And at 4 it tells me 100. So be careful when you're predicting. Predicting is not just using these dots, it's predicting from the trend line. So 4, 100. Now on the x-axis we put shoes, and the y-axis we put money left. So if you buy 4 pair of shoes, you will have $100 left. And how are they related? As the x values decrease, the y values increase. And as the x values increase, the y values decrease. When you have one increasing and one decreasing at the same time, that is a negative correlation. So this does not mean negative correlation. When they're both going down, that's not negative. Let's talk about this statement here. So what depends on what? The money left depends on the number of shoes you buy. Last example, number 5, the height of the candle and how long it burns. Well, The height, I won't know the height of the candle until I know how long it burns. So that's independent. And the height of the candle is going to be dependent. So dependent is the height. And the independent is going to be the how long it burns, which is really time. And you can measure the time in, let's say, in hours, just because we use that a lot, and you can identify with it. So we want to start a statement out with independent. So as the candle burns for a long time, what happens to the height of the candle? The height of the candle decreases. And what would that look like on a graph? Well, first let's label X and Y. And remember, dependent is on the Y, so this is height. Independent would be the time that it burns. And we said we were going to measure hours. And so let's say that our starting point starts at 15 inches tall. And so in 1 hour, it's going to be 13 inches. In 2 hours, let's say it's going to be 9. In 3 hours, let's say it's at 2. And remember, it's going to be inconsistent because this is a scatter plot of points. It's going to be everywhere. And maybe during the first hour, the light blew out. And so you had to light a match again and relight it. And then the second hour, it burned the entire time, which is why it went down. This one only went down by 2, and then this one went down by 4. And then this one here went down by 7. See, there's no certain pattern. It just does what it does. If you want to write the ordered pairs, this would be it. Okay, and then we graph that. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to figure out how to get to 15. So I'm going to go by 2s. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 14, 16. I made it. Do 0, 15, which is there. 1, 13, which is there. 2, 9, which is here. 3, 2. And then you notice your points are going down, so we can speed up time. And we've surveyed a few other people. And these are the results. And so we notice that the information is going down, and a better way of seeing that is drawing the trend line. So I'm going to draw it in the middle, and there's my trend line going down. So now what I want to ask myself is, could I use this to predict? Of course. So let's predict at 2. It's giving me 7. So at 2, 7. What does 2 represent? The hours. So in 2 hours, what is the 7? The height. The candle will be 7 inches tall. And how they're related? As the X values increase, the Y values are what? Decreasing. And the opposite way as well. As the X values would decrease, the Y values would increase. So now we write the statement. What depends on what? Of course, the height depends on the time.